What's going on, guys? Aaron with Lansing Lawn Service. So I am heading into town. Got to do some Christmas shopping for the wifey. Yeah, so today what I've been doing is setting goals. Writing out my goals for 2019 for the business and for the family. Thank you for watching this video today. Please hit that subscribe button and join the lawn crew. Also, make sure that you show that like button some love. Be sure to check out our lawn care wear shop on Teespring. The link is in the description below. You guys are going to love the shirts there. If you enjoy this video, please leave a comment down below. Now let's get back to the video. Now, goals are very important. Here's my beautiful plow truck. Just wonderful. The only thing that I don't like about it is if you look at that, it sticks out so stinking far. But that's the way it had to go on, so that's the way it is on. It's alright. But I'm super excited about that, guys, because I was looking at my 2018 goals, and guess what? A plow was on that goal list. I hit it, man. Now, one thing I wish I would have done is paid cash or been able to pay cash instead of taking out a loan for this. Unfortunately, that wasn't in the cards this year, but I needed to add an extra service in order to bring in more money to reach another one of my goals, which did not happen, but I wanted to get as close as I could to $60,000 this year. Didn't happen, but we're going to reach for it next year. And we're just going to keep going and keep trying. So let's get into town. Now, one of my first goals this year is going to be to pay off my Toro multi-force mower. I do not like debt. If you guys have watched my videos from past, you know that I don't really care for debt. Now, I've changed my thinking a little bit on debt in the business. And the thing with debt is that sometimes you have to do it in order to grow. I understand that. And you don't want to completely diminish your cash flow in your business, because that's important. You've got to have cash flow to pay your expenses. And one of the mistakes that I made last year was paying off a credit card, but I paid off that credit card using what I had saved in my winter fund. And now I am paying for that. So that was kind of a bad choice. Another thing that I did was I put $2,000 down on the new truck, and that depleted me even more, which means that I'm really struggling to save enough money to get me through the entire winter months in order to survive the winter and not have to use any more debt. So that's where the loan for a plow comes in. That's where trying to pick up as much winter work as I can. Trying to think outside the box, trying to think of ways that I can make more income. It's difficult right now, and I'm just going to be real and honest with you about that. It's difficult right now, but with that, I have learned a lot. I have learned a ton about cash flow and how important it is in your business. And yes, people have told me this in comments and things like that, that you don't want to deplete yourself so far that you don't have any cash flow. And that's what ended up happening this year. If I wouldn't have paid off the credit card, the whole thing in one big chunk, I would be okay for the winter. Now, I'm glad that the credit card is gone. Don't get me wrong, I did not want to have a credit card. The interest payment on that was 12%. I wanted it out of my business. I do not want to use any credit cards. I think credit cards are just not the way to go in your personal life or in your business life. I really believe in cash, but I may have to dip into that credit card a little bit to get me through the winter season. I don't know. I hope not, because I really don't want to use that, and I certainly don't want to pay 12% interest on that. So that's the number one big goal, is to pay off the multi-force, or as much as I can. But we have a plan for that this year. We're not going to just do it in one big lump sum. We're going to gradually do that over time. And this year what I'm doing is allocating percentages. Rather than a dollar amount, I'm taking percentages. I'm going in, I'm figuring out all my numbers, and then putting a percentage number on that so that I can see where 100% of my money is going. So it may be a little difficult. Some things, expenses are so low that you can't really put a percentage on that. But I'm going to try my best to do the big ones and leave like a certain percentage for the smaller ones. Maybe add them all together. Just going off of what I did this year with those expenses and increasing them a little bit, knowing that I'm going to increase my business this coming year. So we'll have that, and we'll just see how that works. This past year, I am doing the profit first method with Mike Michalowicz from his book, Profit First. I'm encouraged by that system. I think it's going to work. But because I did not follow that system in its entirety when I first started, that's where the problem came in. And so I think now that I'm going to follow those steps exactly to the T, I think I'm going to be able to pay down that debt a little bit faster, a little bit more, and we're going to be able to get this debt out of our business life. The second thing on my goal list is to reach $60,000 in revenue in 2019. I'm really going to work hard towards that this year. I learned a lot this past year in 2018, and I think that I can do it. I'm up to 45 right now, a little over 45 right now. So I plan to this year actually bring on a part-time employee, maybe a full-time, we'll see, I don't know, just to be able to increase that revenue and to grow the business, because I'm at a point now where I really cannot take on much more. I have kept Fridays as like a half day, but that's got to change. Either that has to change, or I have to bring on an employee. So definitely want to bring on an employee, because it's going to take a lot more than a half day to reach 60,000. And in order to take on more work, I have to be able to add more work, and I need to double myself. So that's the plan. That's goal number 2. The third thing is to add 10 to 15 new clients, and that's weekly clients. And these are high-end neighborhood clients. I really want to get into the high-end neighborhoods, because they are the type of customers that want you to do everything from snow removal to shrub trimming to cleanups, things like that. So that is something that I really want to get done this year. I have my foot in the door in a high-end neighborhood here, and I've had some interest last year, but I couldn't rightfully bring new customers on. For some reason, I didn't want to drop bi-weekly customers in order to take on a high-end weekly customer. That was my mistake, and I won't be making that mistake again this year. I am typically a very loyal person, but it's business, and I have to be able to grow the business, and the best way to do that is purge the low-paying customers and replace them with high-paying customers. And so that's going to be goal number 3 this year. Getting it. Another one of my goals in 2019 is to spend more quality time with this little guy here and his big brother and the whole family. Especially with my business goals this year. They're pretty lofty, and so it's going to have to be quality time, not necessarily quantity time. So I'm out here in like 30-degree weather shoveling snow with my kid because that's what he wants to do. Working on my goals. What's going on, guys? Aaron with Lansing Lawn Service. Whoa.